let's go ahead and get started on the FSA review 2. Just a couple things I wanted to go over with you so that you don't have any questions or confusion along the way when completing the assignment for week 2. So, solving equations, your goal is to isolate the variable. Keep in mind that isolate means that you're getting it to one side and the variable is the letter. So the first step would be to get rid of the grouping symbols. In this case, a grouping symbol is parentheses, a bracket, or the division bar. Step 2, it's no longer PEMDAS because that grouping symbol is already taken out of it. So we're using the rest of the PEMDAS backwards. So we're going to do addition and subtraction first, then multiply or divide. And that should be a division sign. We'll fix that now. And then lastly, use inverse operations to isolate that variable. Now, when we use inequalities, we're doing the same thing. The only difference is when we multiply or divide by a negative, that inequality sign flips. So if it was greater than, it's now less than. If it was less than, it's now greater than. Okay, so let's get started. Our first question we're going to try is 144 equals negative 12 times the quantity x plus 5. Now I have a grouping symbol, so I'm going to go ahead and isolate that by using the distributive property. Negative 12 times x is negative 12x. 5 times negative 12 is negative 60. So now I need to isolate my variable. I have to add or subtract first. So right now I have a negative 60. It's being subtracted. So I'm going to add to get rid of it. So that leaves me negative 12x with 204. Negative 12 and x are being multiplied. So division would be how I get rid of that. I have 204 divided by negative 12. And that's going to give me a negative 17. Should be. Check my work. See if I'm right. Just like you always do. What if I have a literal equation that doesn't have actual numbers? For example, G equals CA minus B, and we're asked to solve for A. So in this case, I don't have any grouping symbols. My A is being multiplied by C and subtracted. So I'm going to do that addition first. Now I can't combine the G plus B because they're not like terms. So G plus B equals CA. I'm still solving for the A, it hasn't changed. Right now it's being multiplied. In order to undo multiplication, I divide. So that A is going to be equal to G plus B divided by C. Those were always your favorite, I say sarcastically. Okay, a little bit harder because I know some of the questions on the FSA review sheet have variables on both sides. So let's try one of those. Okay, take a look. Do I have any grouping symbols? In this case, I do. I have a distributive property, so let's get rid of that first. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 6a is a positive 24a. So now I have a's on both sides. We're going to get those together. And you probably remember me saying we're always going to move the smaller variable. In this case, they're the same. So if I get rid of the 1, it looks like I get rid of both of them. Does negative 22 equal negative 4? They do not. They never will. So this one actually has no solution. Remember, we talked about not every problem will be a no solution. In this case, it was just a special case because the variables canceled each other out. Okay, let's try an inequality. I have a grouping symbol, so I'm going to go ahead and distribute. But be careful, because in this case, what's actually being distributed is a -4. So 6, -4 times 6n is -24n. -4 times 7 is a -28. I can do this a couple different ways. I can move the 6 over, I can move the -28 over, I can combine them and then move it all over together, which I think is what I'm going to do. -28 plus 6, because it's the same side. Same side, the signs stay the same. So -24n. -28 plus 6 is going to give me a -22. How do I get rid of a negative? I add. Right now, my -24 and my n are being multiplied. In order to undo multiplication, I have to divide. But you should have that ding, ding, ding. I'm dividing by a negative, so what's going to happen? My sign that was greater than or equal to is now less than or equal to. And I have 144 being divided by -24, which is going to give me a -6. Perfect. Keep in mind, if you have any questions on how to complete the FSA sheet or any of the work this week, you can make a pick any time appointment. We can talk on the phone. You can join the Big Blue Button discussion. We can go over questions there. You can email me. You can leave a question on the Ask a Question Here sheet on the homepage of Canvas. All different ways I can help you. Keep in mind, if you don't want to annotate on the computer for this sheet, you can write your answers on a sheet of paper and then submit using a picture. I hope you have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you soon.